Welcome back everyone. So now we'll work on I think we'll work on the big metal first. That'll be easier I think. So let's go and do that now. So let's click on our main part here. Let's hide this actually and put that out of the way. Then again go into solid mode. And now let's work on this. So we'll have on vert select all these wheels. We'll have the main parts on the wheels as well. We want those to be the same material. So all these little bits that are around the wheels, of course, are there to get our catapult over tough terrain and also help it stand still when it's firing the ballistic. So those. And we also want these parts here. And this part here I think will be wood. So this part will be made of wood. So let's just look around and look where else we want. We definitely want these parts to be the same metal as well. And I'm thinking if we want these bigger parts to be the same metal and these little parts to be a different metal, I think actually we will do that. So we'll have these parts as the darker metal and these parts as well, and all of these, and these definitely will be, these parts definitely will be, and these parts also. The bolts are going to be a different material. This part as well will also be the same material as well as this part here. And you can see now doing it like this makes it quite easy to distinguish between what parts you're going to have and which materials are going to be on them. And now we've obviously got this bit, so I'm just going to quickly press tab. I'm going to hide my ballistic, go back in, and now I'm going to select the pieces that I want the steel to be. Now I'm thinking both of these actually should be the same material. It needs to be quite a dark material on this. There's a lot of fire on this part, so I'm going to make this all the same material just to add realism to it. I'm not too concerned about it looking kind of multicolored or anything like that. Okay, so this part here, and you can see that we did forget a part here, which is this wooden part here, which we do need to put some wooden material in, but we'll come back to that piece. There's always bits you're going to miss, so let's pick these, and then I'm going to pick these two here. And I'm also wondering about this piece here. I definitely want the bomb bit to be that, but as you can see, because we've not marked the seams on the top, we're actually going to have to just select the bottom there, and I'm just wondering if this should all be metal. I'm thinking that this should be a different metal from this piece, so I think I'll leave it like that actually, and we'll see how we are with that. And then I'm wondering which other bits are going to be the same metal. So these bits here are going to be the same metal as these parts and the bolts and things like that. So I think I pretty much got everything. Obviously we might have missed something and we'll come back and do that. So what I'll do is we'll P selection, select on the other part, and let's just hide that out of the way. And this is what we're left with. And now what we'll do is we'll select it all, Control A, rotation and scale. Let's also do the location. This makes no difference at this point. I'm just having a little look around, just making sure. And now we'll come in and we'll minus the resolution. We'll add plus, new, and let's now go to our shading, and we'll bring in the material first before we do anything with the UVs. Control Shift T, and let's go and find our metal in our resources pack, and it's this one, which is metal dark. Again, you can either shift select or B and bring them in. And let's see what happens with those. And this is our metal. And I've got a feeling this metal's a little bit on the shiny side at the moment. Let me double tap A and let's have a look. For the most part though, the unwraps look pretty good. Maybe it's a bit big on these, but we'll have a look at that as we go along. So now let's go first on here and let's look at our roughness and specular. So we can turn our specular down to make it a little bit more metallic, as you can see. And then we can unplug this roughness, and you'll notice like it's got very little roughness on it at the moment because we've done that. And the thing is about this metal is you don't want it to look like that. It's out in the rain, it's got a lot of water hitting it, it's very rusted up, it's going to be very dirty. It wants to look like metal, but a very dull kind of metal, so it can have some shine. So this is the perfect place to put it, and you can see as we bring it up and down that we're just turning that actual reflection off. And I think something like that with a little bit of shine on it looks better. Let me just leave it as there a minute so I can mess around with the specular and just see. And there we go. Now you can see it's looking really, really like iron, the reflection we're getting off that. And you can see that's looking very nice. So now let's go to UV editing. And what we'll do is we'll first of all press A on everything, and we can see that everything's all over the place. What we'll do is we'll press U and unwrap. I'm just going to go in now and just have a look. Thing is about metal, you don't need to worry nowhere near as much as the wood of things like not unwrapping or something unwrapping like this. Basically, you don't need to worry so much because metal's much easier to unwrap in that way. So they are the leaves over on this bit over here. So let's have a look now, and I'll go into actual modeling, put on the Eevee renderer, and now I can get a good look round and see what it's going to look like. So first thing I'm checking is this part here, and I think I'm happy with how that's actually UV unwrapped. Let's have a look. Maybe we can make this bit a bit bigger. Let's have a look. Let's just grab everything here. I'll actually go into wireframe and grab this whole section. And I think on this I'll do it sections at a time. So Z now, back to solid, back to EV, into UV editing. And now let's have a look. Let's go back, zoom with the dot button on the number pad. And I'm going to look to make them the other way, sorry. So slightly bigger. Let's have a look at that. And I think I'll move this part around as well, because for me it's not, this part here is not rusted up enough. So I'll grab just this part here, and we can see it there. And let's look at if we make it bigger. And you can see there it looks much better in that way. So these parts here as well, I'm not happy with those. I don't feel like they're the resolution is correct on these. So I'm just going to change these 4 bands first. And I'll probably just actually re-unwrap those. So I've just pressed U when hovering over here, and I'll re-unwrap those. And I don't really want the seam there, so I can actually go in, and if I hide these bits we're already happy with. I don't think I need that many seams actually. So what I'll do is I will put a seam here, and now this is where I'm going to put the seam. So I'm going to hide this. So hide, and we'll put our seam here, 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 and here. So Control E now, mark seam, and then we know everything from there. We can actually change these seams on and actually clear the seams on those. So now I can go round, and I'll go to the other side just to make it so I actually understand where I am. Control E, clear seam, and I'm just going around. This is the front look, and I'll also clear these. So clear seam. Now let's bring it back, and again we'll grab it all. I can grab it all with B button as well, and just press Control plus on my number pad. And now just make sure I've got everything. I can see I've missed those 2, so I'll grab those, come over here, press U, and I'll re-unwrap it for you. And hopefully now, let's have a look. You can see now it's looking much better. And the seam's not really, well, you can't see the seam at all because it's not there, and it's hidden pretty well. So I'm just looking now to make sure that I'm happy with that, and I'm thinking that's looking pretty nice. I think I might want a bit more rust on these parts, so I'll come in and grab each one of these, and what I'll do is I will now make them a bit bigger just to make them more rusted up. And now I'm looking at the bottom, We can't really see a lot of rust on the bomb, so we'll do the same thing here. So I'll just bring them out with the S button, and there we go, that looks better. Okay, so I'm definitely happy with that part. That part's done as far as I'm concerned. Control plus, grab it all, and these two parts, and let's hide those. Okay, so now we're on to this part here. So let's look at both of these. So we'll look to see first of all, so I'll press U, hovering over here, and I can see straight away now they look a ton better. I'm looking where the rust is on them, so I'll go in and I'll just move them just back a bit on this one, and looking where the rust is, making the rust look a bit more realistic. And I think I'm happy with those two, like that. One thing I'm not happy with is I think how this line is here. I don't think that's very good at being there. So I think what I will do is I will grab all that going around there, and the same on the other part. Control E, clear scene. And now I'm going to look to see where I can mark it. So here and here, and here and here. So let's mark the seam there. And now we'll grab the whole thing once more, hover over it, press U, and you'll get some unwrap like that. So let's now look at how that's unwrapped. And you can see now that the rust is following along the metal, which is making it look a lot more realistic. Now, because it's metal, we have got a bend around here, but it doesn't matter too much as long as you've got not too much warping. So if I press tab, look, you can see it following all the way around, and it looks a lot more realistic. And like I said, because it's metal, you don't really see that warping. So there, those done. Let's grab those and hide them. And let's move over to this. And we can see straight away on this, there is a problem that it's definitely too low on the resolution. So if I hover over it again, press U, and let's have a look now and make sure that's looking fine. And yeah, that looks quite nice on that side, and the same on the other side. So I will come back in with tab and hide those. And let's work on these wheels now. So let's see this inner wheel, that is, this part first. So let's do all of these. The UVs looked as though they unwrap pretty well. I'm just going to press U again, and we can see straight away now there's a huge difference in there, and they look really nice, and they've unwrapped very well. Don't need to worry too much about the inner parts of them because the wood's there, of course. So now if I come back, and I'm not going to hide these yet. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab each one of these just so I can measure it against the wheel that I've still got there. So we'll grab all of these parts, and like so, and this part, and then we're going to press U and unwrap, and they're going to unwrap like that. And then let's go in, and yeah, now you can see they look a ton better. We've got like things like this is just too much. It's too low in the resolution, and you can see here the realism looks so much different than the realism here. So now I'm very happy with those wheels. So I will go in and hide those. And it seems like on this part there's not really a lot to do, which is always good. So now let's do these parts. I'll press tab, I'll just quickly have a look. And actually these look like they've unwrapped pretty well already. Even though they're this small. So I will re-unwrap them though. So I'll hover over, press U, and now let's have a look. And yeah, you can see the look loads better. This one here though, not got a lot of rust on, so a lot of it won't be seen, but I think I just want to just rust it up a little bit more on top like that. So I'm happy with how that looks now. And what I'll do is now I'll go in and hide those. And then let's start work on these. We might as well do these four together. So let's look where the seams are. Come over here, U for unwrap, and let's have a look. And we're not going to see this bit on the inside, so that's fine. We're only going to really see the top. And yeah, that looks quite nice. The one thing I'm not happy about, I think, on these is this here. I think I want that to be a hard edge, basically. I don't want it rounded off. So what I'll do is I'll right click and I will mark sharp. And you'll notice now when you press tab that you have a sharp edge on there, and I think that looks better. I don't think it would be rounded off. I don't think it suits the model at all, so I'm going to go round and mark the edges, all of them, just to be sharp. And again, as we go along doing this, this is the time when you really want to be doing things like that. So let's press right click and mark sharp, and there we go. And you can see they look tons better, actually, more realistic, and definitely right. Let's grab these and hide them, and let's do these two first. Might as well do these now. So you can see the unwrap on these is very weird. Let's unwrap them once more, and let's see how much warping we've got on there. So I'm looking for the rust coming over, and you can see that it's got a nice flow in it actually. Is it warped? And I don't think it is warped, which means that I can actually keep the UVs like that. They're not the best UV unwraps I've ever seen, but they do the job, so I'm happy with those. So I'll hide those. Now this bit here, let's see how this unwraps. You can see it's really tiny on the UV map. So grab them all, and might as well grab this as well. Hover over it, press U, and let's see how they've unwrapped. I'm looking where all these squares are, and all the squares are there. And this part here is so tiny that it really you'd be really hard pressed to see in here, but they still look good in here as well. So that's looking good. So let's hide that part, and now let's work on these two parts. Now these two parts here I'll probably do separate, so I'll grab this one and unwrap, and I'll have a quick look round, and this middle bit is a bit of a focus point, so make sure you've got this right. I think I'm happy actually with these lines going across, like some kind of scratches or something, so I'm happy with this piece here. So I'll hide that one, and then I'll do the other one. Now you're probably going to end up with the same scratches, so I'll make sure that I move it slightly just so it doesn't look the same. And there you go, it looks different from the other side now. So let's hide that one, and let's do these two. These two are slightly hidden. Always bear that in mind when you are unwrapping something and looking how much detail you want in it, especially when you've got UVs where you need to actually use the whole UV map. On here we're quite lucky, we don't need to do that. So I can see on the top of this one, I'm happy with the amount of rust. I'm not happy too much with how this part here is different from this part here. So I might just grab this and just move it slightly so it's not so obvious that there's a seam there. So I'll just put that back for 1 second, and I'm gonna grab just this one. So I'm gonna grab all these on here, oops, like so, and I'll grab these two here, and now I can press tab and I can look. I'm happy actually with this part here, so I think I'll just grab these two and we'll just move them somewhere else so it fits in there like that. And that one's not bad at all. And we've got this one here. Yeah, we'll move this one as well. So let's just make it fit in better. So A and G, and that fits in a bit better like that. And let's look at this. So I'm just wondering, yeah, we can see that's where the join is. So I think I'll harden this surface here. Harden the edge. So I'll go into vert select, and I will select these verts like this, and I'll also do the same on this side, and right click and mark sharp, and there you go. Now it looks much better. You can see the line going over. Probably have to do this line as well, just to make it look the same, so the light bounces off it correctly. So there we go, and mark sharp, and there you go. Now it looks really good. And also we have to do the bottom as well, just so we don't forget. So I'm going to grab all these, and I'll do both sides at the same time, and also we have to do the other side, of course. Okay, right click, mark sharp, and let's do the, that's that side, so let's come to the other side now. And we'll start with this part, and we've got to unwrap this one anyway. So like that, and okay, that one, and now this bottom one. Like so. And that part, and this part around here. Oops. I will get it. Right click, mark sharp. There we go. Okay, let's just make sure they all looks nice. Yep, that looks correct. Now let's look at this one in comparison with this one. So let's grab all of this one, and let's grab all of this one, and they're exactly the same, so we know we've UV unwrapped them. So let's go in now and grab, I'm thinking these two here. We can change, face select these two. Let's have a look where we're going to put those. I just wanted something that fits a little bit better, and then this side will actually, not this side, sorry, this one. Let's have a look. And actually, I think I'm happy with how that looks. It's just this part that's just bugging me a little bit. I just want some rust going up to it. Yeah, I like that. That looks better. Okay, so tab, vert select, and select both of these, hide, and now we're on to this part here. Let's have a look. Now, these parts are definitely not okay. So look how small they are. Let's unwrap them. Straight away you see a huge difference, and they look really good already. So let's hide those, and now our bowls. So let's select these two bowls, hover over here, view from wrap. Yep, they look pretty nice. So let's hide those. This part here. Now, I'm not sure about these two rings on here. I may change the material on there, but I am going to unwrap it just to see what it looks like. Looks very good. We may put the lighter metal on here. We'll just have to see what that looks like. So now let's come to one of our main parts, and we can see this is really tiny. So let's unwrap that, and let's have a look on that. And let's make it bigger and have a look what that would look like. Would it give it more realism is what I'm basically looking at. I'm going to double tap A to get a good look at this. And I think actually it would. So I think I'm going to have it a bit rusted up like this. Okay, so let's leave that the way it is. So let's hide that. And finally we've just got these two parts. So grab this one and hover over U. And not really a lot to do on those parts. So that's that part done. Let's go back to modeling now. And what I tend to do now is, like we did before, Alt H, bring everything back in. I'm going to grab the parts we haven't done yet. So let's hide those and the rock. And now what I'm looking for is, okay, are there any parts in this that really stand out that could really do with being changed? And you can see it's really coming together nicely now. And it's really starting to take shape and get a lot of realism within it. So I think I'm pretty happy with how that looks at the moment. So in the next lesson what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll probably start on the lighter metal, and we'll leave the fun stuff like the emission for another lesson. Okay everyone, thanks a lot, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.